The Adrian Blissfield Railroad is a Class 3 short-line railroad that owns about 20 miles of total trackage across the state of Michigan. This railroad is well known for its small operations as well as the 4 subsidiary railroads that they own, those being the Lapeer Industrial, the Jackson and Lansing, the Detroit Connecting, and the now defunct Charlotte and Southern. But in today's video, we will be focusing on the main line that the ADBF runs on between, well, Adrian and Blissfield, Michigan, where they have 2 old high-hood GP9s taking care of most of the operations on this line. Locomotives being number 1752, which is one of the only remaining original painted units left in the ADBF, and 1759, the only now active unit in this exact green paint scheme. I start my day by meeting up with some friends here in the main yard, where the doors on the engine shed will open, and the 2 GP9s will roar to life, and soon we'll start working some industries. These things start up like really quietly. Yeah. And once some time has passed, the 2 GP9s then pull into Omnisource to couple up to a gondola loaded up with scrap metal, which then they will take to the Norfolk Southern interchange, near the Wabash line to be precise. And once they drop that gondola off, they then will pick up some more cars further down the interchange and start sorting them into the yard.
I'd rather have one car.
Yeah, same here.
I have 2
Yeah.
This one's got the
What
older
are they
style
doing?
gate, the diagonal striker.
Oh, yep.
I like that one better.
Yeah, so do I. It looks better.
Bro.
Well, we better not be gone.
But please tell me they're switching right there in the yard.
gonna have to spin. There they are. Oh wait, and a hopper.
Yep, they got 3 cars that watch her take it. I was gonna say it doesn't look like they're on.
They tied that down.
They could.
They could just take the 2 grainers, yeah. See that?
We always get a lot of pellets.
Oh, they're bringing them back.
Yeah. Yeah, just that gondola that they
Yep.
put in.
They're probably gonna do the other one, bring the other one.
Maybe. We'll see.
And after about an hour of watching them work the yard, we then get completely surprised by the presence of a red ADBF SW1200 number 1223 running light into the yard in Adrian, which little did me and the boys know was a sign for something.
That'd be worth it.
Oh yeah.
Watch to have the switcher go east. That's what I'm saying.
Little e-bell glitch. Wow. Oh, one-man crew. Yep.
Sure is.
And once 1223 got into the yard, the GP9 Duo then started working around OmniSource again, and after a little more time, an NS train came out of seemingly nowhere right across the Adrian Diamonds.
Still working.
Dude, that's an ace?
No.
But except it was actually just a light move from what we later found out, NS45M, a grain train bound for the ADBF, which we will be coming back to momentarily. But right after that passed through, the 2 GP9 started heading west out of OmniSource again and left the yard with 2 covered hoppers, which kinda snuck up on us. Later on, me and the boys then traced down where the train was, which was right at this grain elevator right at the end of the line. But as soon as we found the train, it started moving back east with 2 other covered hoppers, and then we chased it down and found out it was going back into the NS interchange to pick up something big.
Of course this happens.
About 5 minutes later, here comes the duo of ADBF GP9s with the entire grain train that NS45M dropped off for them, where they would take it out of the NS interchange and then take it east to Blissfield after working Adrian for a little bit, as well as putting 1223 in the consist. But here's the grain train with 1759 on point, taking in and switching this train into Adrian.
Well darn.
Well, I guess with that said, that's all the trains I have for today. I actually only had so much time to film on this day due to the simple fact it was a work day for me, but if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe, and comment below whether if I should chase the rest of the Adrian and Blissfield subsidiaries, even though I do plan on doing so anyway in the near future. But I guess with all that said for now, wherever I may end up next, I hope to see y'all trackside. Over and out.